Toledo there, YouTube, on a drop-dead gorgeous April the 2nd. It's a Saturday. April Fool's is over. You know what's funny is Cal and I were talking. We didn't play any April Fool's jokes on each other, and nobody played any jokes on each other at work that I'm aware of anyway. And what I'm going to do, shh, be quiet, because it's a surprise. Look, remember I tell you about the people taking a picture of that old barn? All the time. All summer long you'll see people pulled off on the side of the road taking pictures of that Dr. Pierce's miracle cure or whatever the hell it is painted on the side of that thing. There's one of many that I can probably show you. But anyway, I'm kind of leaving it a secret on the MotoVlog side. I kind of do 2 vlogs at once if you guys haven't figured that out. God, is it gorgeous out here. So I think literally for 2 years now I've talked about going to Portland and kind of cruising around and showing you places that I live, places that things happen in these stories I tell you. Now that may ruin the image you have in your head, or it may improve the image you have in your head. I have no way of knowing which way that'll go, but anyway, it's kind of like someone you always talk to but you never see their face, and you finally put a face to the voice that you talk to all the time. We're gonna do that. We're gonna put a face on the stories I tell you. Here we are. He's coming back. The guy on the Shadow 750. He just bombing along there. I've been stuck with him for a bit here. This old fellow on that Honda Shadow, his old britches are riding up on him. That's got to be cold on the old legs there, I would imagine. It's like he's riding along, having a good old time. Kind of hanging with him. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just he just seems to be cruising at my comfortable speed. So we're just kind of intertwined with each other here for a little bit. We got a Road King with a tour pack on it. Oh yeah, old Road King. That's a purple one. She's a purple Road King. That looks like about the same age as mine. Well, I am in downtown, or as what would be referred to as the center city. City center of Vancouver. How do we mix things up like that? Point left and say right. Those kind of weird things. But anyway, I'm about to take you into Portland here in about 2 shakes. You're gonna see the sign like right up here. Look at all the fishermen out there. Look at that old paddle wheel boat back there. I can't hold my head back long enough to do that. Here's the sign. Not this big one, but the little small one right there. Entering Portland. You think it would say entering Oregon, but oh well, either one. Look at this, the I-84 is 8 minutes, so that's not bad. So I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing here, and I'm going to get out of this. This guy's about to drive me plumb nuts. Must be new to motorcycles or something. Ooh, I see a lot of lane jockeying going on up here. Alright, we're not going into City Center, but we're going to go right next to it. City Center is on the other side of the Willamette River, which, well, it's going underneath the Fremont Bridge. That's 405. That's where a huge amount of that traffic spun off to. Alrighty, here's downtown Portland. Of course, the lighting is such that you're just going to get blasted in the face. But there's the Willamette River and the beautiful, beautiful Downtown Portland. That is a majestic city. Very beautiful. Very nice to walk around. Get down around the Pioneer Courthouse Square area. It's just stunning. So beautiful. But that's as close as I'm going to get you to the Willamette River, because I'm going to spin off and head in just a little bit here. Get you some extra views here as we can. Without killing myself, of course. And on up the road here a bit, we'll be where the first place, the apartment that Kelly moved us into in May. In 1992, the back injury that I still suffer from came at the top of this hill right here, at this stop sign. I looked, thought I was cleared, looked again, there was a Honda Accord bombing across that bridge faster than what I thought was necessary, so I moved forward a little bit and then I stopped. Well, when I stopped, a drunk, uninsured rider ran into the back of me. Right here. Go ahead. And if you remember me telling you this story about crashing my VF1000R on cold tires, taking off on a ride, and I slid and hit a school building, came around this turn, washed the front end out, slid, and I bounced off of that building. Me and the motorcycle. Crazy days. Yukon Tavern. Every night after work we used to swallow a few there. That's where I took off from. That's where our meetup was, to take off and go to Multnomah Falls when I crashed the VF1000R. One of the times I lost my license was coming across this street right here. I did a wheelie on an XR500R right in front of a police officer. And that ticket I got, we were heading up to the Yukon Tavern, and that ticket I got was the pushover for, I think, the first time I lost my driver's license. I lost my driver's license because of tickets 3 times. But this is Inslee. Remember me telling you about doing wheelies on Gold Wings, and the customers would literally, because they didn't believe a Gold Wing would do a wheelie, so they would have me come out and do a wheelie on it. But this building here, other than having green doors now instead of red doors, this was Portland Honda. The famous Portland Honda. #1 Honda dealer, both in service and sales, for 3 years in a row. And right at the peak, the owner decided to shut it down. There used to be some Oriental people over here that, honest to God, would steal cats and dogs and cook them up in there. But that was the main service door that we came out, and this was the service drive door. We put that in. We had a painted street looking scene where you brought your bike in this door, we wrote you up, and it went out. That went into parts. This is where I drove in, and there was one motorcycle track that came in. Oh, it's gone now. There was some curb stops that were out here. I was the only guy that rode a motorcycle to work until another guy, Steve, came in on his. He goes, "Who's the crazy MF that rode that motorcycle?" We've been friends ever since. But I used to walk right down McLaughlin. Remember I was talking about McLaughlin on the iron? This is a different spelling. But I used to walk down that sidewalk from our apartment. Used to be so... Oh, it's gone. There was a restaurant right there. It's called the Semaphore. And believe it or not, back in those days, we would go to lunch and have a glass of beer or a glass of wine or a little martini of some sort. That was all legal beagle. In our warehouse, if it's... Oh, I see the roof of it. is our warehouse where we built and stored all the motorcycles. Man, I've got pictures of motorcycles stacked in there. You just wouldn't believe there'd be that many motorcycles. That was our warehouse right there. That whole thing was Portland Honda's warehouse. That was slam full of motorcycles. Reed's College is right up here. That's where Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, off and on went to school. And almost all the movies made about Steve Jobs, they actually come here and film those scenes of him walking in front of the college and hanging out with his buddies out there. Beautiful college though. Stunning. God, I don't know how old this thing is, but it's old. Look at that thing. Is that beautiful? Trying to get you a good look of it if I can without killing myself. Hopefully you can see that. Alright. Get up the road here a ways. God, I remember I'd always drive through here like in the summertime with all the shade trees and stuff. And these beautiful houses. I'd just cruise through these neighborhoods. Because all the trees are so big and so full. It was really cool. Cool in two ways, both, you know, physically, temperature wise, and it looked cool. But I was actually talking about the temperature first. But there's the college you can see in the background there. So I'm gonna try to take you up here somewhere, and there may be a little bonus in here if I can. Look at that, they still call that thing Checkers Mart, but it literally used to have like black and white like checkers on it, like a race flag. But man, every memorial, I keep bumping that thing and switching my gauge around up there. It's sitting back there and I keep bumping it. But there's 205, I'm about to go underneath. But every Memorial Day and Veterans Day, just massive, they would shut off and they would use our street as the main thoroughfare to take all these buses up here. I'm sure they still do it. This is referred to as this mountain is called Mount Scott. Man, none of these, that thing, whatever the hell that thing is right there. Good Lord, that was a big hole. That was there. And some of these houses were here, but all these big old mansions built on the side of that hill. It was just a wonderland. You could take dual sports up there and ride all over the place. It was really cool. This is that huge memorial park, and it used to roll up to a point. The road did, and it was kind of a lookout kind of thing. It was the backside of the cemetery. But yeah, every Memorial and Veterans Day, this is a huge. The traffic coming through here is phenomenal. But I think what it was is you actually turned into the memorial and you drove up. I don't recall how this went. And I want to say there's a route I can take out. Yeah, I used to be able to drive in there. It's all gated off. That's what it was. We used to drive out here. But it seems like there's something else up here by these towers. Very distinct chemical smell. Must be, I'm sure, gardening stuff. But this is one huge memorial. I mean, it's cool, but it's sad that that kind of thing exists. There's a road. It'll take us to something kind of cool. And this may be it right here. Ridgecrest. I don't recall. Well, it looks beautiful going down. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I remember where that goes. Kinda got speed bumps everywhere out here. Guess it keeps you from coming through here being an idiot. And like when we were, our kids were growing up, they'd all play in the streets, and you'd get yahoos that would just fly through there. Pretty sure this thing has like a, oh man, look at all the houses. When you looked out forward on this thing, it was just a forest. Look at all them houses out there. But it's been 20 years since we lived on that little house, that last house I showed you. The very, very first episode of Cops was on this road. There's a scene that was on this road. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but Cops started here in Portland. That squeaking brake's about to drive me nuts. Come on, let this be the road. I'm pretty sure it is. 132nd sounds very familiar. And if this is where I test rode my FJ Cruiser before I purchased it. Yeah, I remember it being really nice and windy and very pleasant. That's why I take it all the time, but it's got a nice little trick at the end. Right before I think it drops out on Foster Road or something. Baby, you got to be the one. 132nd sounds very familiar. You're gonna like, yeah, this is it, because I remember it just being wonderfully twisty. God, there's no traffic that was through here. You just rail through here. It was nice living so close. You just go up and over Mount Tabor and boom, or Mount Scott, and here you are. There it is. This is the little surprise. Look at this. Cedar Crossing. A covered bridge in southeast Portland. Is that cool as hell or what? There you go. Dragging pegs on a KLR 650. Isn't that cool? Wouldn't expect to see something like that this close to the city, would you? But I mean, and back then, of course, that was all them houses up there. This was, I mean, you just went a couple of miles up the road and you're in the wilderness area. So I don't know how. Ooh, look at that motorcycle cop. Motor cop. Hey, look, that guy on the shadow pulled up and shooting a bull with that motorcycle cop. That's pretty cool. Man, that thing sounds really good. Wasn't that a Honda Shadow? I must have missed something. Took a glance at it. I thought it was like a VLX 600 actually. I must have just been paying way more attention to the cop. And yeah, that sounds like a Harley. Sounds way too healthy to be a little Honda. But you know, some of those metric cruisers will shock the heck right out of you. Check this out. That was no Honda. Sounds good. You know, something about those, I mean, no baffle, but small diameter pipes, they got a hell of a bark to them. Oh man, I remember that little strip joint. Me and Patrick O'Malley, may he rest in peace, used to swing down to that little thing and have a cold one or two. You have full nudity at stripper bars here in Portland. crazy days. Kelly always said, I hate when you used to go to those things, because every time you go to one of those things, I'd have another kid. And I know some of you guys are really weird about stuff like that, but Kelly could care less. I haven't been to one, and actually 15 years ago I took Kelly to the Acropolis, which is one of the routes I wanted to take you, but we're just running out of time. It is now 5:18 and I'm deep into southeast Portland here, almost on the Clackamas County borderline there. I'm probably about 3 or 4 miles from my old house. And anyway, we are now northbound for quite a while. I'll be sitting in the seat of this thing and just driving down the freeway, the most boring thing ever. Yeah, I kept mistakenly saying Mount Tabor instead of Mount Scott. Mount Scott is what we just went over and had the covered bridge on the other side, but it was Mount Tabor. So you know how you see Mount St. Helens from my house? If you can make out through the haze, from my house, you're looking kind of at the northeast side of it. You are looking directly at the south side of the mountain now. That's how far we've gone. Look at I-205 southeast Portland, and then look where the mountain is. That's straight south to the mountain. Pretty scary. Well, as I leave the craziness of Portland traffic going slow, I end up in Toledo here, and I'm stuck behind 3 people crawling along here. What's going on? What is going on? But anyway, I had a fantastic day today. I was sorry, I was trying to, well, never mind. But anyway, yeah, fantastic day. Had a great time on the old street glide, the old SGS street glide special. Oh, look at that light. Look at that light. That's all bamboos right there. That's bamboo trees. There used to be a sign there, don't pick the bamboo, but it's been overwhelmed and taken over by the bamboo. But it was taking it anyway, so. What were you thinking? Alrighty. The hell is that? They got all broke up. You know, I thought it was like a flare or something before, but it's actually some kind of white plastic. So anyway, a few turns here and it'll be back to my old long straightaway. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little treat down there. It's good memories. It's crazy, it's been so long I don't just remember the addresses and stuff. Many, you know, how about not only 4th, but maybe 5th? Better yet, let's try 6th. Mike would probably like that. Not to be, you know, just revving to the moon there. But anyway, thank you guys for coming along on this little Saturday journey, the little exploration, the SGS adventure. Maybe we can call it that, the SGS adventure. Anyway, I deeply appreciate you guys coming along. I love that you come back. Love your comments. You guys are so kind. And man, you guys make this fun. I have fun, and then it's fun that it ends with fun. And fun comes out of the fun. So anyway, thank you guys very much. And